What is going on, my friends? Yes, we are 45-19 right now. As of the time I'm making this video, we are on a run. We are 1-0 tonight on the plays I put out in yesterday's video. The one that hit so far is Jason Tatum over 20.5 first half PRA. I've already been tagged about it. I guess he had like 18 or something in the first quarter, and then he thankfully just skirted by in the second, but we cashed, and I believe we're going to cash the parlay I put together as well as the other single play from yesterday's video. So without further ado, let's jump into this episode of Bets Before Bed. Before I jump into the first play, you might already know who it is, but leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's blow this channel up even during the dog days of just NBA and MLB so that when football comes around, yes, you are watching this video on Thursday, the draft is tonight. I'm going to be doing a live draft coverage for basically the entire draft. Donuts is going to be joining me for some, if not all of it. We're going to just do you can call me Mel Kiper Jr. or Mel Kiper the third. How about that? We're going to be doing live draft analysis. We're going to be going over, especially offensive players, what the pick means for the team, how it affects the fantasy value of the players already on that team and the player being drafted. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be very chill, very relaxed. You can follow me and find that video on X. I believe that is where I'm going to be streaming it. So at The Hulk Bets on X. So again, like these videos, run these numbers up, pump these numbers up. As Matthew McConaughey says, these are rookie numbers. Let's pump them up. And let's jump into the first pick today. Had to take a quick breather there. I got a little bit long-winded. I appreciate you staying with me. You already know the first player, right? Let's not beat around the bush. What's the point of, there's no reason that we have to have these secrets anymore. Michael Porter Jr. is on the slate. You already know, if you've been watching these videos, what I like, and it's over. His first quarter, 3.5 points. Yes, take the over, take the higher, hit the button, set it and forget it. He's like an incredible 22-2 or 22-3. Listen, I get messages sometimes the 1 or 2 nights he doesn't hit, and they're like, listen, I'm off Michael Porter Jr., whatever. I'm like, all right, but if you've been sticking with me, if you followed these videos, you're way up on Michael Porter Jr. We can afford to lose 2, 3, 4, 5 more games probably and still be way up on Michael Porter Jr. because he has such a ridiculous hit rate on this line. And we've gotten it at plus odds before. We've even hit the over on plus odds at like 4.5 points too. So I know that your pockets are fat from playing Michael Porter Jr. Don't let one loss in game one scare you away, because guess what? He hit the over in game two. So yes, I'm going back to the well. Why wouldn't I? And we're just going to keep hammering it until it tips in the opposite way, or until they bump this lineup where it's 4.5, 5.5 consistently. Until that day, I'm going to play the over. I don't care if he's home. I don't care if he's on the road. It doesn't matter. The hit rate is so high. It's so ridiculous on this. We're just going to keep playing it. So Michael Porter Jr. over 3.5 first quarter points is my first official play. The next play is actually also going to be a first quarter points prop. And it's another guy that doesn't have quite the same hit rate, but he's starting to get there. Joel Embiid, they've bumped his points up to 9.5 first quarter points. We've been playing this since it started at 7.5 a couple of weeks ago. I think the 9.5 is still fine. He hit 12 and 15, I think, in the first 2 games so far in this series. I don't have a problem eating the 9.5 at pretty good odds at right now at a minus 118 on DK. Shop around, find the best odds for yourself. If you have access to other books, play them on the other books. But Joel Embiid over 9.5 first quarter points at a minus 118 on DK with a 72% hit rate on this line. I'm looking for them to set the tone early, and Joel Embiid is going to be the guy that's going to have to do it if they have any chance of making a comeback in this series. I think he comes out and asserts his dominance right from the tip-off, and I believe he goes over the 9.5 first quarter points. Another play that I think is a fine option here, and if you've watched my videos before, you've heard me call out this phrase before, and it's player prop stacking. Yes, I'm making it a thing. I invented it, trademark, TM. I should put a little TM on the screen. I have invented it to my knowledge. Nobody else does this, but it's player prop stacking. What it is if you're going to take his over 9.5 first quarter points, well, take a look at his game logs, his full game logs, and if it makes sense, take the over on that as well. So I am taking the over 31.5 points for the full game as well. Right now, it's at a -120 on DK. Again, shop for the best odds when I call these out, but it is also available on Underdog. Our good friends at Underdog are giving us this line at a 31.5, the same place it's available on the books. So if you don't have access to the sports books, but you have DFS apps, here you go. It's on the screen now. Joel Embiid over 31.5 points. If we think he scores 10 points in the first quarter, he's a third of the way there to this line already. Why wouldn't I take the over as well? Unless there's some reason to think that it would be a blowout or something like that. I don't anticipate that being the case here. So I like player prop stacking his line. Now, as far as units on it, I think you got to get a little creative. I don't think there's necessarily a perfect formula. Again, this is a brand new thing I came up with I'm kind of figuring it out as we go. But what I usually will do is I'll do like 3/4 of a unit on the prop that I think is maybe the most likely. I guess with variance sake, you could say that the first quarter prop has a little bit more variance potentially. If for some reason he gets a slow start, he could still come out and hit the 31.5. I don't know if that's exactly, I guess I haven't thought about it exactly how I'm going to play it, but I could probably be convinced just to do either a unit on both or maybe a unit on the 31.5 and a half unit on 9.5 first quarter, or you could do 0.75 units on one, 0.25 on the other. Get creative. I don't think there's a perfect right or wrong solution. More than likely, if one of these hits, I do think they both hit, but they are not so similar where one can hit and the other one definitely has to hit or not hit. I think that it is possible that you win on one and not on the other. So again, it obviously works really well when they both hit. And if one hits, you still have a chance to either make money or at least get most of your money back on the play. I don't think there's a scenario where both these things don't hit. But again, it's gambling. Anything can happen. Play your units carefully. Man, I am just going to feed you guys. Now, this play is one that I almost wanted to put this into the leans, but I think I'm going to keep it in a lock, and I'm probably going to end up placing money on this one. So I'm going to leave it where it is right now, but if something changes, if you're in my Patreon, I'll let you know what I end up doing with it, all right? $4.99 first month free. I think I like the Josh Hart over 13.5 points at a -120 on DK. So far in this series, he scored 22 and 21 points, and you're getting an insane amount of minutes from him. 40 minutes one game, 46 the next, literally insane. The guy's going to be on the court basically the whole game. His stamina through the roof. I think this is a great opportunity for him to get over 13.5 points because he is just on the court so dang much that his minutes equals opportunity and opportunity equals production. And I think that he can easily exceed this 13.5 point line. So that is why it's a lock right now and not a lean. And I am going to get into the very last play that is up in the air. Hey there. You like what you see? Why don't you like the video? Looks like a little bell. Ring that bell. And while you're at it, maybe subscribe to the channel. All right. Yes. You have to do what he says. He makes you an offer you can't refuse. Please ring the bell. Turn on notifications. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Again, I look at my YouTube metrics all the time and it tells me half of you guys aren't even subscribed, sometimes more than half. There's no reason for that. It's free. You don't have a limited amount of subscriptions. Just throw one my way, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right. The play that is up in the air here, and man, it's tempting. It is tempting just to throw it on with all the other ones and do no up in the air plays and just have them all as locks. But I think it's still up in the air for me, and that is Anthony Davis over 25.5 points for the Lakers. They are in a must-win game here. Must-win game. Anthony Davis has feasted in this matchup here. I think he scored 32 points both times. I think that if the Lakers are going to win, he has to dominate. I think even Bron knows it. So I do think that while LeBron, I do think is going to score, I think LeBron's assists remain high, and I think that he feeds Davis, and I think the team feeds Davis. I can see Davis being ultra competitive here, ultra assertive and dominating. And I think we see him go over this 25.5 line, just like he has the first two games of this series. Right now, it's a lean. If you're in the Patreon, $4.99 a month, I'm probably going to alert you later on to let you know if it switches or not. Again, guys, I will put the link in the pinned comments below. First month's free. You've got nothing to lose. I gave away $75 today on it. Listen, It's a giveaway, all right? It's a sweepstakes. We had a great time. I want to support the people that have been supporting me. Check it out. I promise you guys won't be disappointed. But I like the Anthony Davis to exceed 25.5 points for this game. Feel like I rapid fired through that video, but I hope you guys are liking the content. Please continue to smash the like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know you've been making money. Let me know you're ready to go back to the well on Michael Porter Jr. again. And listen, if you're in the Patreon already, I appreciate you. Let the people know what they're missing out on, because I think there's just a lot of people that are watching these videos. They're like, yeah, it's, I can't, what could it be? Could it be that much worth it? $4.99. I get it. It's cheap, but I just don't feel like checking it out. But I think you're missing out. All right. So please do me a favor, continue to support me as you guys always have. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully I can keep lining your pockets. And remember, bet smart and win more.